The great anthropological psychologist Robin Dunbar came up with this idea of the Dunbar number, and he was in the jungle, much as we are, observing that if you follow different kinds of primates, monkeys, not the religious kind, but the monkey kind, and you look at the size of their brains, the neocortex, you'll see that it's related to the size of groups that they inhabit. And he came up with this idea that our intelligence is based around social interactions. The group size, you have an alpha male, which tends to cohere, form cohesion in the group, but then you have a little tribe of animals. And the size of our tribes is related to this interaction between us. So this is interesting for promise theory because this whole interaction is something that builds trust. And the coherence of the group the cohesion of the group is built on trust. Essentially, we come back to revisit one another because we believe we offer each other something, and we trust each other to provide that when it's needed. And that forms a notion of group and tribe. And the size of tribe, I think, so Dunbar showed that it depends on how much work we're able to put into maintaining those relationships. The more people in a group, the less time we have for each other, and the looser the bond. And he had actually identified this, very, very close bonds. Just a couple of people were able to support with our human brains. A close-knit relationship is like the number of people around a dinner table, so 10, 15 in a family. Then about 30 people in a working group, in a tribe, in most sort of departments and companies around 30, and then they start to break up. And then the most commonly known Dunbar number is about 100, 150, which is the number of friends that we're able to sustain, that we contact on a fairly regular basis. This, I think, plays into this idea of tribalism for good or for bad. So when it's good, I think it becomes a way, it's a way of understanding voluntary cooperation, why there is cohesion and coherence in a group, the ability to move as one. But where it goes bad is when you have that strong leadership, which is dominating through fear, perhaps, or in a negative sense, or holding the group hostage, and even getting people to become slightly obsessed with the notion of what they're doing, and they become, rabid sports fans, or today we see the rise of nationalism all over the world, and sort of the negative side of tribalism coming back. Then then those barriers actually become something of a hindrance to cooperation, and it really does become an exclusive boundary. So, in terms of leadership and cooperation, I think the positive aspect of that is the alignment and the ability to move as a group, as an entity, with cooperative relationships, bolstering one another's capabilities. The negative side of it is when you then perhaps become too full of yourselves and start to exclude others and even put up barriers. Don't come here.